He's actually so shameless. All of this is on Asmongold. This is one of the most insane sweeps I've ever seen in my entire life.
I wonder if there's a way I can use this as precedent to go after a media personality that has impacted my real life experiences. I also know the lawyer who personally successfully sued Alex Jones. Just something to think about.
I promise you, my one promise that I will make is if Hasan tries to sue me.
He's been making a lot of hate videos about me and calling Ela a terrorist and baby killer.
Today, we're talking about the Twitch adpocalypse. Why? Because I was talking to my friend Shake about it last night, and I wanted to look up a video to learn more about it, and there was none. So I decided, okay, I will make one. And today, I should preface, we are going to basically be talking about 3 points around the Twitch adpocalypse. What is it? How did it happen? And what should happen next to
I'm about to nitpick so hard, but
fix it? That's really what I want to address today. And so we should start with first ads on Twitch, because I'm old enough on Twitch that back in my day, Unk status, I get it. It was cringe to run ads. People didn't do it. And it made sense. You know, people would already be paying your subscribers for your content. So why would you also be taxing people by...
I guess he says back in his day and he's not as old, but my recollection is I believe running ads on Twitch was available way before, even on Justin TV, it was available way before paid subscribers, no? Like you ran ads generally, and ads were the only way you made money when you were streaming in the early days of like Justin TV and Twitch, before paid subscribers were even a thing. Yeah, when he says back in his day, he might mean like 2019, I guess, right?
Ads, it was something you just didn't really do until Twitch made a bit of a change. They started to tell you how much money you would make if you were to run ads. And they also ran a program that subsidized that amount of money. So they basically...
Oh, so this was he's talking basically within the last like 5 years, but yeah.
Say like, okay, well, this is how many viewers you have. If you were to run like 3, 6, 9 minutes of ads an hour, we could pay you like a couple $1,000s. And you know, not only could we will guarantee pay you that amount of money, and you just do the deliverables and, you know, it all sort itself out. They're basically subsidizing people running ads. Now, they only ran this program for like a few months, but it worked. It created a culture where streamers now knew how much they would make if they ran ads, and it became a part of their lifestyle and overall income. And so now people run ads. And you should know this if you've ever tried to watch a subathon in the past couple of years, because those are basically ad farms, man. Live 732 hours in a month. That's 732 hours to run ads, baby. And thankful to the boys at FaZe for leaking their income. We know how much money you can make from ads alone. Now, I'm not sure. It's possible that Ron might have photoshopped this image a bit, little inspect element. But if we take it at face value, he says he earned $1.2 million during his subathon, and he only had 63,000 subscribers. Now, I say only because if you do the math, that 63,000 subscribers is $220,000, which means he made an extra million. That's not from bits. That would mostly be from ads. And what makes this even more realistic and more impressive in my mind, Jason was the biggest in the FaZe group for their subathon. In terms of subs, he had the most subscribers. You can see 100,000 right here. And he made $500,000 total. It's a lot of money. Now, the light pink is the amount of money he made from ads. You can see his ad density went down, all right? He didn't make as much from ads, as opposed to somebody like Lacey. That's a lot of light pink. Now, ignore this number. I know as a fact, he inspect elemented this. This is a fake number. This number is real. So he made $70,000 less than Jason while having less than half as many subs, less average viewers. How? Because his ad density was so high. He's running an ad density equivalent to TV shows, okay? And he is able to make just from that hundreds of thousands of dollars in ads. I would not be surprised if Kai made as much, if not more money from his subathon in advertising than he did from all of the hundreds of thousands of subs he has. This is all kind of gone now. The advertisers are pulling out. It is true, and streamers are making a lot less money this month, okay? How do we know this? Well, Twitch streamers are talking about it. Here is Quinn.
What the hell? So you're getting, wait, oh, bro, you just getting no ad money at all.
All right, here's Moon also talking about it.
I saw like
trying to get a wide array of streamers.
Ads, adpocalypse, blah, 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 blah. Out of curiosity, I want to check my revenue.
There's no possible way he can get through this whole video without mentioning Hasan. I can't believe it. There's no way. It's impossible. You are all lying and you trolled me and you gassed me when you said that. There's no possible way that can happen.
Last 2 days I've streamed, I received $0 on ads.
And then finally, here's Stock Guy actually showing his analytics. You can see how much money he is making from ads and how far it has dropped. For some people, it's half. For some people, they're making 10, 20.
I will go full conspiracy brain for Ludwig because I know that Ludwig is a valueless piece of shit who will cover for Hasan as much as possible. If you were to scroll a little bit earlier in the timestamp or a little bit later for Quinn, does he mention the politics stuff? Because the Stock Guy mentions, I think, the politics stuff quite a bit, right? But I noticed that for the Stock Guy, he only shows a picture of his graph, but he doesn't have the audio. He doesn't have the video of him talking about it. Why? Because he mentioned the politics stuff too much, but we'll see. That's my conspiracy. We'll see. Maybe he'll do
$0 on ads.
And then finally, here's Stock Guy actually showing his analytics. You can see how much money he is making from ads and how far it has dropped. For some people, it's half. For some people, they're making 10, 20% of what they used to make. And the way ads worked on Twitch for a long time was a very simple calculation. What is your viewership? Okay. What is your ad density? How many ads are you running an hour? And where are your viewers from? Because advertisers view viewers differently depending on their location. That is it. That is the only factors that went in. And then however much money Twitch made from advertising, they would pay you out like a percentage portion, all right? You know, something like 30, 40, 50, some percent based off your deal of how much money they made from the advertisers. The issue is that only works if they have advertisers. And a lot of advertisers have pulled out, okay? They have pulled out and it has hit Twitch hard, all right? And I'll talk in a minute what my prediction is for what will happen to that advertising money. But first, let's talk about why they pulled out. Where did the advertisers go? Do they hate Twitch?
Okay.
Which all of a sudden? Well, the genesis of this, as far as I can tell, is when Asmon got banned off of Twitch. Because see, Asmon got banned after making some
It's actually unbelievable. I think that you could do a case study on how a man can survive solely through the ingestion of semen from another person that he's deemed the alpha male. I actually cannot. Well, hold on. I'm so sorry. I'll continue. Maybe he brings up more. My bad.
some comments about Palestinian people, some very negative comments about Palestinian people. He got banned off of Twitch. And this sort of caused a domino effect where people are like, okay, you ban Asmon for saying this thing about Palestinian people, but you know, what about this person saying this thing about this people? And that happened a lot because this is an issue Twitch has been dealing with.
He's actually so shameless. Please don't ever let me give him the benefit of the doubt for anything ever in the history or in the future of all of any commentary on him. He is like irredeemably, shamelessly cucked by Hasan. I actually cannot believe how unbelievably fucking cucked this fucking loser is. No wonder, like Twitch. Who is there anybody that doesn't cover for him? Like, it's so crazy. It feels like the Trump shit where like the Trumples accuse everybody of being the deep state. And then you look into like what they did. Wait a second. You try to get your DOJ to lie for you. Wait, you try to get the vice president to turn the election for you. Wait, you access a whole bunch of illegal systems or systems you weren't supposed to even legally let out. Like you did all this shit. Wait, hold on. Aren't you like kind of the deep state? It's like the same shit here. It's not like everybody's so biased against me. And Twitch hasn't made a single announcement about anything. Twitch hasn't said anything at all to any of the streamers about what's going on. Hasan has been banned for a single thing, even though all of his lackey loser friends got banned for some stupid panel. And now Ludwig is here making a video explaining what's happening on the Twitch adpocalypse, where like things related specifically to the word Zionist, the ADL has been involved, like they were Democratic. Richie Torres is a Democrat. Congressmen have been involved. Like, well, hold on. Maybe he'll bring it up. All of this is on Asmongold.
But, you know, what about this person saying this thing about this people? And that happened a lot because this is an issue Twitch has been dealing with for years, which is inconsistency in their bans. All right. They have their code of conduct, their terms of service, whatever. They have to ban based off of that. And sometimes it's not upheld consistently. All right. And so this became, you can see October 16th, the day Asmon got banned, a very common trend. All right. Oh, you ban Asmon. Well, what about when Frogan said this, crazy thing about U.S. soldiers? All right. And Twitch got basically.
Okay, he brought up Frogan. Okay, we did get one thing. Okay, kind of okay.
Controversy after controversy after controversy. All right, and at first this was maybe just some like.
Wait, what was that related to? The banned account. Okay, whatever.
Controversy after controversy after controversy. All right, and at first this was maybe just some like social media.
Also, wait, did Frogan get banned because of the soldier comments, or was it because of that panel? Why did we just say the soldier? But okay, he didn't even say. But okay,
stuff. But then there was a concerted effort by people to go straight to the advertisers. All right, because Twitch wasn't buckling. They weren't like banning other people for their comments based off the social media blow up. They were just kind of holding fast. They banned Asmon. They're like, okay, we're good now. Please leave us alone. That did not work. They were not left alone. Not only were they not left alone, their advertisers were not left alone. And this is one of the other genesis I can see of advertisers now getting involved after the Asmon ban. And here's a tweet that said, made a video of what you can do. It's a long video, so I'll just distill it. But basically, it was email the advertisers that Twitch worked with who were displayed prominently in sections that people viewed as like anti-Semitic and get them involved. Okay? He says, fuck Twitch for making me do this cancel culture, cuck fucks, and loser shit. But that is exactly what happened. It was a attempt at creating an adpocalypse. Very successful. Now, Twitch tried to curb this. They tried to appease advertisers and also the Anti-Defamation League, who's getting involved. And they banned several Arab streamers following a Habibi rating panel that was at TwitchCon. And you can see the sponsors are in the background of this. This was going viral. I promise you, all of these sponsors got thousands of emails in their inbox after this. And it worked. Now, you might think to yourself, okay, well, Ludwig, this was like a month ago, right? We're November 16th now. Asmon got banned October 16th. The banning of the people at the TwitchCon panel was October 21st. Well, how do you think ad deals work? It rolls over the next month. So the reason ad rates plummeted in November is because all those advertisers pulled out for the month of November. And there's no way in that 2-week period for Twitch to resell a bunch of ad slots to brand new advertisers, especially when brand new advertisers are going to see this blowing up on social media and not want to touch it with a 60-foot pole. You get me? All right. So there's currently in Twitch world a piss match, right? Hasan is blaming Asmongold for the adpocalypse for teaming up with people who he says started it. Mizkif is blaming Hasan, saying that everyone who does politics should be outright banned. And Asmon is
looking at me and blaming me. I want to say you're welcome.
Taking blame himself and probably talking about DEI again for the 100th time, if I had to guess.
This is one of the most insane sweeps I've ever seen in my entire life. Why is Ludwig such a pussy? He could cut off Hasan and be fine. He has his own shit going on. Because one, Hasan is like Trump. He really is. Hasan will try to destroy you if he feels like you're disloyal, right? So like, for instance, when I wasn't friends with him, obviously when we had our big breakup, he's telling everybody else, I'm not going to show up at these events of Destiny here. It's the ultra blacklist thing, actually, unironically, that I would talk about, like if people are unhinged, right? He tells everybody to stay away from these people, don't do this. And Hasan like plays, he does the reputation rehab constantly, over and over and over again. Remember when we saw Nick have to answer his phone? Nick text Hasan when Nick made comments about Hasan, and he was literally getting text messages like 15 minutes later. I'm not going to find this. And then remember when you had this happened recently too. Oh wait, there were Mizkif. I should have all this loaded and ready to go. Mizkif was writing messages in chat afterwards. I'm not gonna find it. Wait, top post on the sub, is it? Mizkif made this. Mizkif made this comment.
I straight up, I thought he wasn't a terrorist. But if he's a terrorist, I'll tell him to stop, because that's not cool. Like L terrorist. It's debatable. Oh well, he's bad at debate, so he's definitely a terrorist.
Was it this? Wait, no, fuck. There was another one. Fuck. I don't care. I think Mizkif said something about they should ban all politics or something like that because of whatever had happened. And then, I think a little bit later, Mizkif is in his chat, typing in his chat. Yeah, I agree. I don't know. I didn't feel like I said shit. Wait, I'm confused. Is what I said about the politics thing mean to Hasan? Isn't it just the most obvious take? That if we're losing all ads and Twitch fails equals ban politics? So like, obviously Hasan started messaging Mizkif being like, bro, why are you shit talking me on stream? What the dude? And then the same thing happened with, Nick as well.
Oh no. Oh no.
Bro, why is the Reddit?
Don messaged me. Oh no, he knows. Uh-oh.
So he does this, right? And he probably does the same thing with Ludwig as well. So when you're asking why are people loyal to him, it's because he says, like, he talks to people and he like, if you're gonna do this shit, I'm not gonna hang out with you anymore. I'm not gonna have you at my events or whatever. So this is what he does, right? He leverages his fan base to try to like control people's opinions about him.
Say you're welcome.
Oh, and the same thing actually has happened with Ludwig before, where Ludwig made a little joke about Hasan. He made a little tiny joke, and Hasan messaged him with so much ass pain that Ludwig deleted the video, lied about why he deleted the video, re-uploaded the video without the joke about Hasan, and randomly blamed my community for some harassment that a 0-follower account was giving him on like Twitter. Like,
taking blame himself and probably talking about DEI again for the 100th time, if I had to guess. Now, what is Twitch doing about it? Twitch has done two main things. The first one is they're trying to have the most perfectly crafted, curated conduct policy to be able to catch all things that could offend anyone and make advertisers as happy as possible. And
that's not true. Twitch already has a policy that's fine with this. The reality is that on Twitch, you can be racist towards white people, sexist towards men, and bigoted towards Jews. That's the answer. That's the answer. That's plain and simple. And that very simple explanation literally encapsulates the entirety of everything that's happened over the past few weeks. That's everything, really. Truly, that encapsulates everything. You're not going to have to do the crazy Special Olympics routine, the crazy, the whole circus of shit he's going to have to do here to try to explain what the is going on without that like very simple truth that I just said.
And it's a very hard thing to do in an ever-changing world. Their latest change has been making the term Zionist along with a mean term now prohibited. Now that gets you banned off the website. The other thing they have done is they are now using tags as a way to demonetize creators. So, there's this thing on Twitch that people usually use as jokes called tags. So like hashtags are short and loud. You know, Asmon's tags are bald. Okay. But some of the tags are very legitimate and well used, like the language tags, and some are now enforced, like the politics tag. And if you have a tag like politics or something maybe like sexual themes, well, then you're not going to be making money off ads. And we know that because here's a clip of someone talking about that who has those sexual theme tags.
So this month I play like full 3 hours ad and I get 0.08 USD money from it.
She played 3 hours of ads and she made 8 cents. Okay, 8 cents total. Now, what's going to happen next? The ad money is going to come back. Maybe not to where it was before, at least not for a while, but we know this because this has happened before. If you remember, YouTube had an adpocalypse in 2017. A lot of people blame PewDiePie for it. I would argue that's a bit reductive. In the same way, it might be reductive to blame a single person for the adpocalypse on Twitch today. At that same time that PewDiePie had a video with a bunch of edgy jokes, there were also terrorist training videos found on YouTube that had advertisers on them.
You realize that like if Hasan wasn't a part of this, none of this probably happens, right? Like, who are you pointing to? A bunch of small, irrelevant, like 100 viewer streamers on Twitch? Like, that's going to get ads shut down, right? You realize that Hasan being a part of the Israel ban was pretty bad, sure. But Hasan being like the face of this is what makes it abhorrent, right? It's what makes it so easy to get everybody like to gather around and say, hold on, this is really fucked up. But
all right. But the thing is, it's not like if you go to YouTube, there isn't up shit on there still. You know, there's definitely still stuff that advertisers would not want to advertise on. I can look this shit up if I want. All right, you can look this up. If you look up nude yoga, there's some shit on there that advertisers do not want to be on. That is still available on YouTube.
Okay, August can correct me if I'm wrong, but this seems especially disingenuous for Ludwig to bring up, because on YouTube, you can target your ads like crazy, number one, and number two, YouTube religiously checks for offensive or inappropriate content, and it will de-ad a video in ways that Twitch never does. August can tell me if I'm wrong on that, but like I can go through my YouTube. Almost all of my live streams, for instance, get demonetized because I end up bringing up like edgy shit, and I get basically get an email every single night saying as much, like, hey, this live VOD got demonetized. It's like, oh yeah, okay, that happens. I just know that happens because I'll like swear, or I'll bring up something edgy or whatever. Him like, oh, he's gonna go into how YouTube does it. Oh, okay. So like I think you feel a little bit safer on YouTube because you have a lot more control over how your advertisements are displayed.
You look up nude yoga, there's some shit on there that advertisers do not want to be on. That is still available on YouTube. Because there should be a difference on what is available to watch on a platform and what advertisers want to be a part of on a platform.
Yes.
Not everything that's on a platform should just be stuff that advertisers want to see. We should not become Coco Melon TV on every single platform. In the same way that not everything on a platform should be only things advertisers don't want. Like, well, let's be frank, kick. Okay, you don't want both of those realities. You need a mix. But to have a mix, you need a lever to be able to punish people accordingly. And what I mean by that is right now on Twitch, the biggest problem that I see is the only way they have to punish people, or the main way they've had to punish people, is a ban. And a ban is very strict. It is 100 to 0. Turn the water off. Okay? You cannot make any content at all anymore at all ever. All right? That's a little bit strict. On YouTube, they have a pretty good system. You've probably heard of it, right? Most videos, if everything's good to go, they're monetized. Okay? Maybe that's what the green money sign is. Maybe you have the gray money sign. That means you didn't monetize it. Okay? You just didn't monetize that shit. Red means you can't monetize it. Now, this could be for copyright or because maybe what the content is about. That's what the red is. You can't monetize it. And then there's yellow, which is this video, and YouTube, if you ever ask them, will always say this, is not being suppressed by the algorithm, but will not be shown to advertisers. Now, YouTubers will always tell you that if it has the yellow money sign, fucked. It is being suppressed. The views are worse. YouTube says the opposite, but fact remains, this does not make money. The advertisers will not go in this video. Now, there's another section, which is yellow.
To be clear, there's more that you can do on Twitch as well. For instance, if somebody makes comments about Kyle Rittenhouse or whatever, I didn't get banned for those. I got departnered. So you can do that. Another thing you could do is you could restrict a person's ability to just run advertisements on a channel if you wanted to do that. Another thing you could do is take away special CPMs for people to discourage them from running ads. I guess I don't know if you want to do that, but like there are other things you can do besides just banning someone. Twitch does have options. They just don't use them or explore them. Well, I guess they did for me because they departnered me before they banned me.
With the 18 plus. So not only can they not be monetized, the channel must be 18 plus to watch. Those do get suppressed, obviously, because it's just being shown to less people total. But this is the system that YouTube uses now. And it spawned, in part, from the adpocalypse. As opposed to all content being equal and being able to be monetized just based off those three factors, views, ad density, where the viewers are from, is now also based off what the content of the contents of the content is. You get me? And Twitch hasn't had a good way to do that. I think this tag system is also not the best way to do that.
Wait, but that's not what's going on right now. Like, I don't know if that would matter. I don't know if advertisers would want to be on a site that is encouraging people to share terrorist propaganda as long as their ad isn't running specifically on their videos. I'm not sure if that's the case, right?
because people can lie quite easily about tags, and tags are seen as a bit of a joke. So imagine if you had to do on Twitch, is what I think they should do. The same thing you have to do on YouTube when you upload a video. When you start up a stream, you have to do this. So when you upload a YouTube video, first
he's not gonna mention anything about Hasan. That's so crazy to me. Literally people in Congress like writing letters and shit to fucking writing letters before committees and stuff, and on Twitter and talking and the ADL and the specific call and all that, and he's not going to say a single thing about it. That's actually insane to me.
First thing you have to do is have paid advertising. You have to disclose, right? This is required. They instantly make you do that. I think that'd be a good thing. All right. If I want to monetize, I want to make some money. Let's make some money. Fuck it. It'll make you go to an ad suitability form. And basically, I have to fill out, okay, do I have some censored profanity or words like hell or damn? Did I say bitch, douchebag, or asshole? Yeah, I did do that. Okay. Does it have adult sexual content? Okay. Yeah, I had romance and kissing. Okay. Or, oh no, I had some exposed minimal sexual body parts. Now the ads are automatically limited. So I have the burden of answering myself. Now you could say, well, you would just lie on this. Here's what YouTube does. They have a bot automatically check. If they find discrepancies and your rating accuracy is low, they might not monetize your video. And I have been a bit of a victim of this. It looks like you might have made some mistakes. And what happens is now I have more bots. Basically, more bots check my shit because I was wrong. Because every time I do it, I just say, yeah, I have some slight swearing. And sometimes I have a bit more swearing because I'm playing League with some degenerate assholes. But that is, to me, how Twitch should work, right? They'll need some bots to be able to scour the content. They'll probably have to do this manually. But what's, I think, not very realistic, because they haven't been able to do this in the past decade that I have known Twitch, the website, is they cannot continue to make their main way of demonetization banning by upholding their code of conduct and their terms of service. They should continue to ban people when people are...
That's not what spurred this all on, though, right? Like, none of this even happens, probably, without, like, the Israel ban. Without the actual, like, hard-coded ban of people signing up. None of this happens without Hasan, the second largest politics streamer on Twitch, being like the face of a lot of Twitch politics and being the biggest promoter of terrorism and terrorist propaganda on that website. Like, how do you not bring any of this up whatsoever? Like, he brought up Asmongold more than... Wait, hold on. Did he bring up Hasan a single time? Did he even say his name in this entire video? He did once? Okay, he did one time. How? How is that possible?
Are breaking it. But they're going to fuck up, they're going to miss, and they're missing way too much at a certain point.
Oh, wait. I don't even think he brought up Hasan. He said Mizkif blames Hasan. That's, like, insane to me. Like, he makes it sound like it's illegitimate even. Oh, my God.
Realize, hey, man, hang up the fucking jersey. All right, we need a new solution because your ban solution isn't working. So anyway, that's the adpocalypse. The reason I say some of the money will return is because the way it worked on YouTube is the month after the adpocalypse that I believe happened in February, ad rates dropped by 70, 80% for some people, and then mellowed out to about, I think, a 30% reduction after a couple of months. So I expect at least by, well, maybe December, because advertisers love advertising in December, ad rates will be back up a bit, probably not to where they were. And maybe in a year from now, if Twitch does good and they're able to actually show content for advertisers that advertisers want to be shown, then they might be back all the way. That would be the steps that they need to take. Anyway, I stream over here on YouTube sometimes, so I don't got to worry about any of this shit. But that's what's going on with Twitch. That's the Apocalypse. All right, see you later. Subscribe. Goodbye. See you later. Goodbye.
Like, why even make a video on this? Were people asking him to? Fact check sheet. Mogul mail corrections. What's happening on Twitch? Ludwig discusses the recent adpocalypse hitting Twitch. As creators are claiming they're receiving about 90% less money from advertisers in November than they have in previous months, Ludwig explains why advertisers are pulling out and what he believes will be the long-term results of the situation. Nothing useful. Reviewer, B. Barbs. Who's that? Oh no. Who's B. Barbs that did the fact check? Ludwig playing the centrist and acting like he doesn't know where this is coming from is crazy. It's coming from Dan and Density and their harassment campaign against advertisers. Jesus. His avoidance in thoroughly briefing the viewer regarding Hasan, Ethan Klein, and Red Pillar Nazis is wild to me. I'm glad the discussion being had here. I wanted to come back and share this. I have to unsubscribe, and it is over this. Ooh, 528 thumbs up. Jesus. I cannot take Lud's journalism seriously if he actively chose not to acknowledge any of this sort of... Oh yeah, he didn't even bring up Sneeko and Fresh and Fit getting... I don't know how much that played into it, because Twitch did reban Fresh and Fit and Sneeko. If it were to present itself, it would be ridiculous to provoke the thought of ignorance. Yeah, he didn't mention Ethan Klein as well, who's probably one of the largest YouTubers, or the largest person involved maybe in this whole conflict? What the fuck? He starts the video with, there's no video on YouTube talking about this. True. Did he say Zionist when he was talking about when Twitch was trying to ban a thing, when they were trying to craft the perfect policy? Did he even say that?
To watch a subathon in the past couple of years, because those are basically ad farms.
Yes, he did. Okay.
All right. As far as I can tell, is when Asmon got banned off of Twitch. Because see, Asmon got banned after making controversy after controversy after controversy, and get them involved. Okay. He said, crafted, curated conduct policy to be able to catch all things that could offend anyone and make advertisers as happy as possible. And this is a very hard thing to do in an ever-changing world. Their latest change has been making the term Zionist along with a mean term now prohibited. Now that gets you banned off the website. The other thing they have done is they are now using tags as a way to demonetize creators. So, there's this thing.
Is that even really accurate though? Zionist in a mean term gets you banned off the website. Is that even what the policy was? Or was the policy saying if you use Zionist in a way to demean or attack a group of people? He said Zionist plus mean word gets you banned from the website. As part of our hateful conduct policy, we prohibit the use of terms that may not be harmful or abusive in isolation, but can be used as a slur or to denigrate others in certain contexts. In line with that approach, starting today, using the term Zionist to attack or demean another individual or group of people on the basis of their background or religious belief is against our rules. So he didn't even, whatever, dude.
Thing on Twitch that people usually use as jokes called tags. So like hashtags are short in.
Okay. He's afraid Hasan will call him out. True. What is this?
You should call Hasan and apologize. Why is Hasan mad?
Oh yeah.
What did I do?
Oh no. Fucking fan.
What did I do? Because I'm a mogul male? I feel like everything I said was fine. Am I crazy? He's mad about the Dubai trip?
People accuse me of like trying to police my orbiters and telling them what they can say or do, whatever. And generally the worst is I'll tell somebody like if you make contact with a certain person, I'm not going to make contact with you, right? If I quote unquote attack somebody, it's me saying things like public, like, oh, I think this person's dumb or I disagree with them, right? I'm not generally like, but the idea that like messaging somebody privately and saying like, don't ever, I need you to redo this video, or I need you to say this thing differently about you. Like Hasan actually does this shit. Hasan actually runs around and does this shit. And he accuses me of doing it with no evidence.
Rip.
Hasan rated him and his chat was spamming about it. He said, call Hasan, he's crying unironically.
Views? Oh, well, I mean, shit, that's the deal. I'll just fucking pull him out of the thumbnail, and then I feel like it doesn't really matter much, right? I can just pull him out. I feel like that's... Because I feel like outside the thumbnail, you can't really make that argument much. Here, check it out. Boom. That's a change on the fly, baby.
And then I like how when Ludwig will take this video down and relist it, he'll say that he had to do it because it was performing poorly, so he needed to redo the video.
Me and C-Dog VA. That's a funny picture. That's a funny picture along with that title. But I don't think the content of what I said is something I wouldn't say in public or to him personally. Unless that's a problem. But look, I'm going to deal with this off stream. I don't need to deal with this right now. Why is C-Dog so short? It's because my boots make me 4 inches taller.
Whatever. Okay, don't care. Good time.
Correspondent Sarah Fisher on this.
Now that I think about it, I wonder if there's a way I can use this as precedent to go after a media personality that has impacted my real life experiences and has actively tried to, defame me deliberately by not only engaging in slander routinely, but also beyond the slander has actively targeted by way of his Discord and by way of his subreddit an interest to harass me and my family members and people that are around me. Interesting. I know just the lawyer for the job. Brother, I know the lawyer that successfully sued Alex Jones at the behest of the Sandy Hook victim families. You guys are talking about Lolo, but like, I also know the lawyer who personally successfully sued Alex Jones. Just something to think about. Yeah, maybe others
I promise you, my one promise that I will make is if Hasan tries to sue me for defamation, I will absolutely countersue. Whatever case he thinks he has, I have an infinitely stronger case against him. The idea that he thinks that he could sue me for defamation because of my opinions about him, when we watch so many of his videos and so many of his clips, like, what are you talking about? Whereas Hasan, like, knowingly and like willfully, recklessly lies about me. Like, he knows he does. He like is like, like the misrepresentation is not even close. And I think we're way too close for him to just say, "Oh, I didn't know," or like, yeah, that would be fucking hilarious. But yeah, I mean, if he ever wanted to, oof, you want to try to pull this like retarded shit you do on your little on your dwindling stream fan base? You want to do that in court? I mean, we can try that if you want. I'd love to, sure. Do I think my case could work? I have no clue. I don't know. Defamation for public figures is very hard, but Hasan engages in a lot of like pretty gross character hits on me that I would say are not rooted in reality. A statement to qualify as defamation, I believe the statement's called actionable, I think is what they're called. But it has to reduce to a fact of the matter. So like, for instance, Hasan saying that I'm like that I like support Nazis or love Nazis or some shit or work with Nazis or whatever. I think that those are statements that are like opinions. Like, he can have that and never be wrong, right? If he's like, oh, like, I think Destiny supports Nazis because he streams with Nick Fuentes, I don't think that's like a defamatory statement. Like, that wouldn't be actionable. But when Hasan says things like Destiny said he wants people to run over protesters with cars, that's a statement. I never said that. I've never said anything even remotely close to that. And he knows that. And we've watched him watch the original footage on his stream, and he knows that. And these clips have been everywhere. So he's straight lying when he says that. And he might have even tweeted that out, I think, a few days ago. So that would be an actionable statement that is clearly defamatory. The only question would be, did he act with actual malice in making it? I would say pretty easily, probably did. Didn't he call you a pedophile? I don't know if a pedophile, I think that's still an opinion statement. If you call me a child rapist, that might be actionable. But if you call me a pedophile, you could have the opinion that I'm a pedophile. I don't know if that would be, the N-word manifesto, justifying saying the N-word, I don't know if that would be an actionable statement. I think he could probably say that, oh, well, I felt like his manifesto was justifying the N-word, and that might be enough, maybe. The running over protesters thing is the one thing that sticks out in my mind, that he is that would be an actual statement that he's like, it's clearly defamatory in nature, clearly acting with actual malice. Like, that my guess would be that, yeah. But the other statements might be open too. I'm not sure, or maybe that one wouldn't even try. Who knows? Yeah. When you said mode on protesters, you probably thought you meant driving a tractor. Destiny, obviously true. You also have to prove loss of revenue. Depends on the types of defamatory statements. Statements that are defamatory per se, you don't have to prove damages. I think there are statutory awards. What about your statement in the Artemis brothel where you said he underage hookers? I can have that opinion. I don't think you could prove that I'm acting with actual malice there. I don't think I even am acting with actual malice there. You went to a brothel in Germany, there are underage people in there. You might have fucked an underage one. They were under investigation. Oh, it's possible. There's no way that you'd be able to say 100% no. Like, actual malice is like you're acting with either gross negligence or you are knowingly making a false statement with the intention to harm the person or whatever. It's pretty hard to prove statements like that in court against public figures. It's very difficult, yeah. What about his statements? You encourage DGG to harass people? No, I think he could have that opinion and defend that. You could say that whenever I watch his stuff or call things out, that it's encouraging people to harass as possible, right? You able to prove that Twitch keeps you banned because of Hasan? Probably not, without a whole bunch of discovery, and I don't even know 100% if that's true or how much that he would even have to contribute to that. Yeah.
I don't know anything about streams.
He's like trying to have the thing about Adam is that, like, I mean, obviously he's not taking anything seriously, and he's like trying to have like a humorous, normal conversation. And Destiny's like so clearly just like debate mode. He's trying to be funny in his own way, but also simultaneously just like can't turn it off. One thing that people say about me all the fucking time is like, oh, Hasan, we're not talking about politics. You're like a really chill guy. Okay. And yeah, sure. Maybe some people have
Who says that about Hasan? Wait, wasn't Valkyrie on stream? Didn't she expose Hasan for being like, you're on your phone doing Twitter all the fucking time?
You talk shit about us. Talk shit about us on.
I don't like that he just doesn't just like talk to anybody and he's just on Twitter all the time.
True.
LSF?
No, I'm on TikTok.
He's on TikTok.
I'm watching. When
You're on TikTok instead of.
Yeah, exactly right.
You know what?
Speak. Tell the truth. Tell the truth.
I'm telling the truth. He's on TikTok and it's like, what?
Wemby,
With the rest of
who?
Like so much so that the next day Hasan had to be like, I don't even have Twitter installed on my phone, guys. He said that in his Discord, remember? I remember when I hung out with him in real life around like offline TV and shit, Hasan would bring up political shit and stuff all the time off stream. Like crazy. Maybe he's changed a lot in real life. I don't know if anybody else around him, like, Jesus.
Political disagreements with me, okay? It is what it is. There's not much I can do, right? But like, I'm not, like when I have a conversation with Bradley Martin, I'm not like fucking, I must do an Omega own on this person. You know what I mean? Like just be fucking normal. That's the same shit. That's the same shit for Destiny 2. Be fucking normal, dog. What the hell's wrong with you? But you can't. He's just like perma-stuck in fucking debate brain.
It's so weird. I've done so many more shows than him over the past few years, and I've been on so many different platforms, and I've talked to so many more different people, and he literally is trying to accuse me of not being able to change up. Okay.
Today's topic is Twitch's new update on hateful conduct policy.
Just woke up.
It's official. Twitch has said Zionism as a slur is no longer allowed, people. You can't just call anyone a Zionist anymore.
Oh, he's sick.
I have some pretty conflicted thoughts on this change. Let me read it to you, and then I'll give you my thoughts. Let's see here. Our hateful conduct policy is designed to protect our...
Is this his audio, or is there weird shit happening in my background?
Let's see here.
Okay, Jesus.
Our hateful conduct policy is designed to protect our community from attacks based on a person's protected characteristics.
Am I listening to like some 7-dimensional audio? What the fuck is happening? Why does it feel so weird?
Such as race, nationality, religion, or sexuality. The policy prohibits harmful behavior, like suggesting that a victim of harm deserved it, or sharing a hateful image or symbol. An image of hate. I'm really curious. Hateful image or symbol. Does that include the Houthi flag that says a curse upon the Jews? Because that is still up on Hasan's channel, just for the record. But maybe then it says Jews. It doesn't say Zionism. Maybe that's the new walk around. But like, yeah, no, I said Jews, not Zionist. The language used to cause harm and spread hate changes over time. So true. To ensure our policies adapt to those changes, we review them and how they're applied to prevent those harms. So admirable. As part of our hateful conduct policy, we prohibit the use of terms that may not be harmful or abusive in isolation, but can be used as a slur or to I'm having trouble with this word. Denigrate? Oh, denigrate. I thought it was, it almost made me say the N-word. I'm telling you, this denigrate word is dangerous. I almost said that, you guys. I would have been a violation.
That Linus Tech Tips of him talking about the hard R is still one of the funniest. Oh my God.
Of this very thing I'm reading, unintentionally, of course. But can be used as a slur or to denigrate others.
Linkers, how have you not all seen this?
I mean, it's been kind of eye opening. I've just sort of randomly here and there picked up episodes of old shows that I hadn't watched in a long time from like the early 2000s, and just the casual the casual sort of gay humor, casual use of the hard R.
Oh, really?
It's jarring. Yeah, it's jarring now. And for
casual use of hard R.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Like okay, it was an episode of American Dad. And it was just
Really?
like, yeah, it wasn't for shock value. It was just like used.
Whoa.
Right? Well, I mean, here's the thing, right? That was in 2003 or something, like 2002.
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna deny that I dropped my fair share of hard R's back then because we didn't even the term hard R didn't even exist. A fair share of hard R's back then because we didn't even the term hard R didn't even exist. We didn't think about it, right? And it's funny because to me that doesn't feel like that long ago, but to my kids,
are you talking like N-word hard R?
What? No.
Okay, I'm pretty sure that's how people use that term.
No,
I think
that's
so.
the N-word. What are you guys talking about? Am I mistaken?
I think so.
No, the one with the for mental disability.
I'm pretty sure people use hard R in a very different way than you just used it.
Oh. Okay, either
hard
way.
R means ending
I understand.
the N-word with a hard R.
I understand what you mean. No, I'm not talking about that. Okay, cool. So I'm glad that we have
freaking
cleared that up.
Neo over here, dude. We're dodging bullets. That's
Yeah.
bad.
Okay, yes.
All right.
Thank you for that.
In certain contexts.
I'm so curious how many people have you said that to before? Yeah, I used to say the hard R all the time. Like even as recently as like 2015, I would just call people the hard R constantly. Like, what can I say, man? People would act stupid online. And I mean, what do you call stupid people? Obviously, yeah, hard R all the time. Like, I wonder how many conversations he's had that he's had to replay and I'm like, hold on, wait a second. Jesus.
In line with that approach, starting today, using the term Zionist to attack or demean another individual or group of people on the basis of their background or religious beliefs is against our rules. We recognize that Zionist and Zionism also refer to a political movement. Using the term to refer to the political movement, whether in a supportive or critical way, does not violate our hateful conduct policy. Our goal isn't to stifle conversation or criticism of an institution or ideology, but to prevent coded hate directed at individuals and groups of people. We include examples of the language we prohibit in our enforcement here. We want to make sure that our hateful conduct policy continues to be flexible and yada, 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 yada. Here's my take. I'm pretty sure that there must be at least 20 VODs of Hasan's, of him using that word as a... Okay, here's my issue. Already, Twitch is not enforcing their own policies. The Houthi videos, of the propaganda videos of interviewing the terrorist kid, of the Houthis like storming this shipping boat, it's still up on Hasan's channel, and he has not been punished. Not even warned, as far as I know.
Damn.
It's kind of funny. They threw like his little waiting room friends under the bus, but he's totally fine somehow, even though this is really all about him.
Here's a bathroom, one sec.
So they already don't enforce their policy, right? So that doesn't give me a lot of faith. But then the other thing is, so who's going to decide if the usage of Zionist is a slur or if it's like a relevant label, right? Is it going to be the same people that are refusing to punish Hasan for flying a Houthi flag that says a curse upon the Jews? Well, he didn't fly it, but you guys know what I mean. It's in the background of the videos he enjoys. What about, Hasan glazing up Hasan Nasrallah? He doesn't deserve me saying his name fully. He doesn't have that respect. He's fucking dead. He's dead. Now he's Nasrallah. Nasrallah. So who's gonna make that call, right? Is it Dan Clancy's gonna be making that call? Who's qualified to make that? I know that everybody who works at Twitch is like mega Hasan simps, right? We've seen the videos of Dan Clancy singing him happy birthday and forcing everyone to participate, but they all love him and they all think and feel the same way. So who's doing it? Who has the wisdom, the cultural background to say this one is racist and this one is okay? I'd like to know, because I think that's important, because as it stands, the people who are in policy, frankly, are clearly not capable of making that call. If it was like some Jewish advocacy group that was involved in these decisions, then I think like, okay, that might be legit. But as it stands, it seems to be a pretty hollow guarantee from Twitch trying to make these things smooth over. And I think it's going to cause them a lot of trouble. I think it's insane. It's an insanely new policy because it's like the word Zionist is thrown around on Twitch like, you know, every other word with these political streamers, right? So how the fuck are they going to actually sort through that and decide? And then they're going to get like massive tons of reports. I don't know how they're going to do it. I doubt that I don't even doubt that they'll ever even enforce that rule one time. Not even one single time. So yeah, empty, hollow. I mean, Hasan has been glazing up. This dude, Bad Empanada.
Jesus.
If you guys know who that is, he's like actually psychotic, and he's been making a lot of hate videos about me and calling Ela a terrorist and baby killer and all that.
Wait, I'm so sorry.
But he's been making a lot of hate videos about me and calling Ela a terrorist.
I don't know. I'm getting, I don't know if it's my headphones or I don't know if it's this video. I'm getting freaked the fuck out. I'm sorry. Jesus. Everything sounds like it's like super in my background in this video. I'm getting mind so hard. Holy shit. I thought somebody was trying to get into my apartment. It's Ela? I know, I'm just saying, I don't know what it is or why the sound is like so stereo or it sounds so real or it's mind fucking me hard.
And he's been making a lot of hate videos about me and calling Ela a terrorist and baby killer and all this. And Hasan's been enjoying his videos. Here's a tweet from him. You guys will enjoy this. It says, oh, Hamas raped a bunch of babies and kids now? Where's the video evidence of it? I was looking to jerk off anyway. You think I'm kidding? That's a real tweet. That's Hasan's guy right there, boy. We love me some Bad Empanada. This is the guy he's been promoting. There's an active genocide going on, which is receiving crucial backing from the U.S. government, like President Joe Biden. If you are an American, these people are within your reach. Coincidentally, the U.S. is one of the easiest countries in the world to buy a gun. I'm starting to see why Hasan likes this guy. I mean, Hasan did tweet out the blueprint for the gun used to assassinate the former Japanese prime minister.
That's such an unbelievable tweet, dude. Holy shit, that tweet was so crazy. My God.
In response to a senator's tweet. So, I mean, I guess I can see the overlap there. Zionists everywhere, anywhere are combatants, actively spreading propaganda to enable a genocide. Their words kill, they must be stopped. So, this guy thinks I'm like the epitome of a Zionist. And that Ela is like literally killing babies on her free time for fun. So when he says Zionists, and if everywhere are combatants, he's literally saying right here, to kill Jewish people. Because let's be real. Who's splitting the hairs on that one? Are we going to have a Twitch censor being like, no bad empanada, don't kill Ethan. He doesn't fall under the term Zionist as a political movement. It's just a slur when you say it to him. He's saying kill Jews everywhere. Okay, I love that. Very cool. This one's really good. Check this out. He says, just like Japan, a nuclear bomb is needed to stop Israel. Yeah, good idea. This one you guys are going to like. And I can really...
Oh, Ela's, she's washing rocks, guys.
really see why Hasan likes him when I read this. 9/11 was an attack on a legitimate military target. Those within the towers were the soldiers of Western financial imperialism. And it was there that bureaucratic schemed and carried out operations to indebt other countries to steal the resources and bring them into ruin. The murders of countless millions had been plotted and dictated from within those walls. Yada, yada. Its attack is just as valid as that one on the Pentagon. Yada, yada. But yeah, he says 9/11 was an attack on a legitimate military target. And I mean, Hasan is the we deserve 9/11 guy. So
I think sometimes that American free speech is a problem. The problem is that there's a lot of problems. It's a multifaceted issue, but the crux of the problem, I can give you the crux of the problem, but the thing is there's like 20 other things feeding into it. The crux of the problem is that any mature adult knows that every right comes with it some awesome responsibilities. The awesomer the right, the awesomer the responsibilities, right? The more insane the right you're granted, the more insane the freedom or privilege you're granted, the more insane the responsibilities that go along with such a freedom. For various reasons, and this is where it gets complicated, people have abandoned that, at least on the right, people have abandoned that when it comes to freedom of speech. Freedom of speech to a lot of people on the right is a right that is granted with no responsibility, with no consequence, not to be cherished or protected in a responsible way or manner. It's just something to be doled out indiscriminately to every single person with no concern or regard for how it's wielded. And the issue is that there are obviously now a ton of bad faith not interlocutors, I would call them leeches, I guess, or viri. I don't know what the plural of viruses is. This viruses? People basically like leech onto this system and they're like, oh my God, look, it's freedom of speech. They don't really care about freedom of speech. They're just using it to lie. That's the whole point, right? So it's unfortunate, but yeah.
I get it. I see why he likes him. But the point is that even if Hasan somehow purges the word Zionist from his vocabulary, which I doubt, he's still promoting, backdooring people like Bad Empanada, who are genuinely sick, top dudes, man. Just look into this guy, dude. I'm telling you, just Google his name. It's unbelievable what's going on here. He said all Israelis are valid targets. Yeah. I mean, this is just the tip of the iceberg, if I'm being honest. But this one really, I mean, this is what he looks like. Charming guy. Oh, Hamas raped a bunch of babies and kids now? Where's the video evidence? I want to jerk off anyways. Very funny.
I've heard some people say I'm a free speech absolutist. What does that mean? It's just a virtue signal. It doesn't mean anything because they're never a free speech absolutist. You can say immediately like, oh, so I should be able to post child. Okay, fine. Not a free speech absolutist. Obviously, if things are illegal like that, you shouldn't be able to post illegal things. Oh, okay. So like videos of people getting killed, you can't post that. Okay, well, there's a law against even viewing or seeing child. It's not the same for viewing or seeing. Oh, okay. What about like mass spam things? Is that like illegal? Isn't that freedom of speech to advertise? If I have like 1,000 people all spamming a thing over and over again, like, is that like just free speech absolutism is just stupid. There's like a million things we'd all agree that we want to regulate. Nobody wants spam. Nobody wants child. Nobody wants, like there are things we all agree like probably shouldn't exist. And you maybe even could make laws against it, right? I'd be okay with laws that criminalize types of spam. Bush had that no call list, or was that under Obama? It might have been under Bush. That was awesome. I don't know if it works anymore, if we still utilize that, but.
Very funny stuff, guys. So, in short, I'm kind of curious of how they're going to enforce.
What's the principle then that allows for the good speech and restricts the bad stuff? These are cultural norms. You have to understand that liars can abuse your system. Most conservatives aren't willing to acknowledge that. So the first thing is getting people to recognize there's a problem. And then the second thing is saying like, okay, well, if we have this right, we need to cherish it. And part of cherishing a right is respecting it and wielding it appropriately and responsibly. This is true of every single right. So, but nobody agrees that you need to do that, or at least a lot of people on the right don't agree with that. And there are people on the left too. So what, I mean, you can't even get the conversation off the ground.
Or so it might be interesting just to see, how they do it. Cause I think it's going to be a mess. I think it's going to be ineffectual. And I don't think it's even going to be enforced. So, well, maybe I'm wrong. But until then, don't you call me a Zionist on Twitch, you. I'll get you. Don't you be calling me a dirty Zionist pig dog. Inbred pig dog Zionist. You can say that, okay. Because Hasan calls Jews inbred a lot. I don't know if you knew that. I've got a compilation going. You guys will see. I'm working on stuff all the time here, guys. In the basement, we're tinkering. Hey, Ducky. Look at him. So cute. This is Ethan Klein, guys.
Do you agree with this change? Wait, with which change?
You, not do. For you, day.
The Twitch change?
You guys like this format? I'm going to try to do these more often. It's just a one.
Propaganda from one side uncritically and doing everything possible to deny, downplay, and apologize for the atrocities committed against the victim population.
Come on, dog. Okay, this isn't from months ago. It's from today. Here's Hasan playing propaganda for a U.S. designated state-sponsored terrorist org.
True.
There isn't any fucking questions about this. Will Dan Clancy let us play ISIS songs? Yeah, dude. Ia Cha is the same as fucking ISIS, dude. Get the fuck out of here. Like, dude, you are out of your fucking mind. I'm done, dude. I fucking hope Twitch bans me for this. I'm fucking so done. Like, yeah, dude, you're right. The fucking official DPRK, like a state in and of itself, like me playing
the state in and of itself. Yes, literally it is. Determined by the Secretary of State as a designated state sponsor of terrorism. That is correct. Right now it is Cuba. Why Cuba? When did Cuba get at? Wait, the it's Cuba, North Korea, Iran, and Syria. Now, you can say whether or not you agree or disagree with the United States, but, I mean, if any of it matters, I mean, the community guidelines on the Twitch TOS, they say that, do they say state designated? I wonder what they say. I mean, like, they use terrorism, terrorist propaganda. What's their definition of terrorist? Is it U.S. designated terrorist? Are they using some other terrorist designation? Or... Destiny, but I mean to ask what the moral differences between good speech and bad speech, the difference that makes one okay to ban and the other not okay to ban, or is that we want to preserve specific ways of making speech, e.g. good faith ones and not others? The point of freedom of speech is you want to find a way to protect unpopular things that people in power might be tempted to regulate away because of an accountability thing. So for instance, when somebody types something mean about Destiny in the subreddit, that's true, and I ban it because I hate you and I don't want anybody criticizing me in my fucking territory, right? In a government, you would say, well, hold on. We probably don't want the politicians to be able to ban people that are critical of them, right? Or corporations to be able to bribe or lobby politicians to ban speech, right? These are the types of things that we're protecting. Freedom of speech is not meant to protect people that just want to lie with impunity and do no research and spread misinformation or disinformation to the population. We don't want to protect that. We don't want that protected. Now, the challenge, I guess, is figuring out, okay, well, what is disinformation or misinformation that's worth banning and disinformation or misinformation that's worth protecting, right? I guess, funnily enough, I have an audio signal. Fuck, what would you call this? What class would you even take for this? Where you do like signal analysis. In audio, you have something called you might see these listed on products called SNR. You've got a signal to noise ratio. And what a signal to noise ratio measures is essentially how much of a good part of a signal is getting through versus how much like garbage is getting through, right? So let's say, for instance, I've got an AC going on, rock cleaning going on, all sorts of shit, and I'm speaking and all of it is like the same sound, right? Your signal to noise ratio is very bad, right? You're getting a ton of noise. The goal with freedom of speech is you want your signal to noise ratio, where your signal is like your good positive speech coming through, and the noise would be like people just spreading or telling lies. You want that ratio to be as high as possible. High, right? Yeah, like you want a lot of signal, not much noise. But people don't even acknowledge that the misinformation is noise, so they pretend that it's all signal, and then you amplify everything, and it's just fucked. I don't know if that makes sense. I think it works, but yeah. Why do we designate Cuba? The State Department has designated Cuba as a state sponsor of repeatedly providing support for acts of international terrorism and granting safe harbor to terrorists. Does this have to do with Syrian shit or what? 2021 Trump administration. South America, maybe? The Castro regime must end its support for international terrorism, subversion of U.S. justice. Members of the National Liberation Army, a U.S. designated foreign terrorist organization, traveled to Havana to conduct peace talks with the Colombian government in 2017. Setting peace negotiating protocols, Cubans refused Colombia's requests to extradite 10 ELN leaders living in Havana after the group claimed responsibility. I mean, if they're showing up for peace talks, why would you extradite them in the middle of that? That's a dumb reason, I think. The sad thing is that under Obama, there were actually flights to Cuba that were happening again. I don't know how long these were going on for, but we started to fly people back and forth. It's so sad that the United States has such a horrible relationship with fucking Cuba. Cuba should be a flourishing island. It's close to the U.S. Imports, exports should be high. Savannah is beautiful. The tourism, I was going to say the terrorism. The tourism alone would be a massive boon to the economy. The Cuban people would like us a lot more. There's a ton of Cuban people that live in Florida, that in the back and forth between the families, or not Savannah. Wait, I'm mind fucking myself. Hold on. Havana. Why am I thinking Savannah? I don't even know what I'm thinking of. Regardless. Oh, city in Georgia. Oh, that's where we canvass, isn't it? Havana. There's just like so much. It should be so good. It should be so much better. And it's not. Like, what the fuck? It's so crazy how fucked the U.S. relationship is with Cuba for no reason. I don't think, or at least I'm not aware of anything recently that's even happened. Like, the fuck? I don't know. Like, this is literally, I don't know any Cold War history, but didn't they call these, is this what they referred to when they talk about a color revolution? Like, the biggest threat ideologically to communist countries is if you can get democratic countries on the border and people are like, oh, look, those democracies are doing well, and that makes us want to like do shit here or whatever, right? Like, what? Like, wouldn't you want that? Like, how many Cubans would see tourists coming from the United States who have tons of money to spend, like, oh, I'm a janitor and I'm like literally flying here to like hang out in this place where you're a doctor and you're driving my cab, right? It would just be so good. Like, this is like the best propaganda you could do for liberalism, capitalism, for it's just everything. I don't know. Yes, but the Cuban Americans would be big mad, and apparently it's a very important voting bloc. I mean, they're voting conservative no matter what. The U.S. should invest more in the rest of America. They are losing ground to Russia and China in South America. Yeah, but like we nuked the TPP and we don't want to do any of that. Oh, we have such a bad vision for America. I don't remember, was it the Monroe Doctrine or was it, we had some doctrine in the U.S. where we basically told Europe to f off and let South America do its thing. The United States should be so much more actively involved in South American stuff. Not in a Cold War involved way, not in a Pinochet, not in that kind of way, but like in a let's like trade and do tourism and open borders for like visas and shit, not open borders, immigrant, like all of it. We should just have such a like better, but we're not even unified at home, so we can't even agree on what our foreign anything should look like. NAFTA for all of North and South America. Yeah, like the U.S., Mexico, Canada trade agreement, like stuff like that should start to incorporate more Central American countries.
Trolima on the Wing is akin to playing ISIS music videos. Please get the fuck out of your goddamn hug box, dude. Holy shit. It's muted in the broadcast. It's probably copyrighted. That's why.
Do you think any of our rights have a moral basis, or are they all dependent on what is good for a country? I mean, like, because we're humans and we're forming a human country, a lot of the rights that we have that are good for the country are probably going to be good for individuals, and all of this is probably going to spring from some common moral foundation, whether you believe in moral realism or moral, I was going to say moral unrealism. What is it? It's moral realism versus moral, subjectivity? Fuck. Why have I forgotten these things? It's because I didn't vibe and study them. Are you a moral realist or are you a moral subjectivist, right? It's not relativism. Oh, anti-realist. Sorry, Jesus, unreal, anti-realist. Absolutism is the contrary to that, because you can be I think you can be a moral realist who doesn't believe in absolutism but believes in relativism. Like morals are still real, but they change. And you can be a moral anti-realist who could be, I think, an absolutist or I think that it's still possible. It just fuck all that shit though.
Jesus Christ, dude. What a this is the problem. Okay? This is the fucking problem. This is like you're out of your fucking mind.
Is there a moral foundation for free speech, you think? One deeper than it is simply good for us? No, I don't necessarily think so. Like if freedom of speech were to produce just absolutely horrible negative outcomes across all of society, I don't know if that would be something like a right that would be worth defending. Yeah, I don't necessarily think so. I don't know. I have to dig more into that, but probably not.
Okay? Yeah, last time I checked, ISIS doesn't have an emoji. Like, what are we doing? Like, this is a nation state, dude. Oh, sorry, I don't like it. Yeah, I play the USSR anthem as well, dude. He's gonna be like, yo, look at this. Like, here, it's akin to doing this, okay? It's akin to saying that this is a terrorism.
What do you want?
He's so fucking stupid. His excuse was, it's on Spotify. ISIS's theme song is on Spotify. Fucking all of the terrorist organization shit is on Spotify.
None of that. None of that is even relevant because Spotify could have a different terms of service than Twitch, right?
He's fucking stupid. Andy's crashing out. It's amazing. Like, go. Oh my god. It's sorry. I just thought it was funny because I have all these people in my comments being like, "It's on Spotify, you fucking retard."
Yeah, that's the most irrelevant thing in the world. I don't know why anybody would ever even say that. Yeah.
I'm new to the Hasan. What does this stand for again? The Hasan system?
Like, I'm sure I could probably find, or maybe not. Actually, I don't know. If I were to search Spotify for like the Nazi fucking theme song or some bullshit, could I find like stuff like this? I don't know.
You can. Let's see.
Nazi Germany playlist. I don't know how. Like, if I were to just like play this shit on Twitch all day, my guess is it would probably be not okay, not acceptable.
A national anthem of the.
So it doesn't whether something's on Spotify or not doesn't really matter. So I don't know why. Yeah, I don't know why you're saying that.
You missed the part that there's an emote for it.
Emote for what?
No, that's what Hasan said a few seconds ago. He said there's a fucking emote for it, dog.
No, he said there's not an emote for ISIS, right? Or was he saying?
No.
Oh, I might have missed. Hold on.
North Korea thing.
Yeah, last time I checked, ISIS doesn't have an emoji. Like, what are we doing? Like, this is a nation state, dude. Oh, sorry, I don't like it. Yeah, I play the USSR anthem as well, dude. He's gonna be like, yo, look at this. Like, here, it's akin to doing this, okay? It's akin to saying that this is
a flag emoji. Oh.
Terrorism propaganda.
But it's not because Twitch doesn't designate the USSR. I'm sorry, the United States doesn't have the USSR designated as a terrorist org or state sponsor of terrorism. So everything he says is just like a lie. It's a waste of time. He's so unserious.
Like playing the USSR anthem. He's doing terrorism propaganda, guys. Fuck, holy shit. It's on fucking Spotify, you dildo.
Like, that doesn't matter.
We're joking, but Twitch capitulates to them.
Didn't Forsen's partner get banned from playing Erica? People keep mentioning, I don't know the song that is. Don't know, don't care. But I do know that didn't Forsen, the funny thing is, if you want a real mindfuck, somebody can tell me if I'm wrong on this. I don't remember. Didn't Forsen get a 30-day ban from Twitch because he was playing CSGO and he said like fucking Russians or something? Like, it wasn't it, am I making this up? Forsen banned Twitch. It was considered hate speech? Oh, no, I'm sorry. 2 weeks, my bad. It was a 2-week ban. Was it just for saying these retarded Russians are playing? It's actually insane. Show me the clip. I remember watching this a long time ago, though. 4 or 5 years ago.
Them unironically, I know, dude. It is fucking ridiculous. Yeah. No, don't worry. I'm apolitical now.
Destiny is perplexing to consider the notion of rewarding a brutal autocratic regime. Germany's previous approach towards Russia, particularly under Angela Merkel's leadership, served as a cautionary example. Their comprehensive strategy of engaging in trade to deter Russian aggression ultimately proved to be ineffective. Therefore, it is reasonable to assert that this perspective may be fundamentally flawed. That is true. I think that even if we were to trade with Cuba, they would still probably continue to try to invade the United States, as they have a huge history of doing. And we probably do need to think more about like our, I guess, like geopolitical strategy, like in terms of fighting off like the onslaught of Cuban invaders over and over and over again, which represents a significant threat to probably like U.S. military stability in this hemisphere. So maybe I might agree with that. Yeah. What do you think of minimizing free speech regulation? Because Trump's admin, for example, could inherit those levers of power and pull in 1984 by defining the truth and persecuting wrong speak. So here's actually what I'm not sure about, because I did think about exactly this, and then I thought of a defeater for it, and now I'm very irritated that I ever had this idea, and I'm not even sure if it's a, and now I don't know. Sometimes as I grow older and I think about things more, I think of defeaters for previous ideas of help. Then I wonder if I ever have any ideas at all, or if everything's just waiting to be thought through. When somebody says that, let's say that you have a law that says if you blatantly, flagrantly lie about people, you get arrested by the government. We'll make it really extreme, right? Somebody might say, well, hold on, Destiny. If you had a law like that, imagine like a Trump admin comes in and that law's on the books and they just start arresting people arbitrarily. Wouldn't that law be bad? So I would say in the past, like, that's true. I wouldn't want to grant a law to an administration that I disagree with politically that I think could abuse that law. But now I think the retort to that would be, hold on, person talking to Destiny that thinks they gave him a great counter. If you had an administration that came in that was willing to weaponize laws on the books to persecute people just because they don't like them, why wouldn't they just persecute them anyway without the law on the books? And I don't know if there's a good counter argument to that, right? Nothing, because, for instance, this is why arguments that were for and against the ECA upgrade, the Electoral Count Act, are stupid. Because conservatives will say, well, actually, what Trump tried to do before the ECA was updated, it was legal. That's why they updated it. And Democrats will say, well, we updated the ECA so that we could make crystal clear what was in the ECA. Both of those positions are equally stupid. The ECA, I should be careful when I say this because I don't know the exact updates. Maybe there was something they changed in it, but if they just made the ECA stronger or more clear in what the rules are, that doesn't fucking matter, because the plan with Pence was to break the law. That was the plan the entire time. So why would writing the law in a different manner matter when they were willing to break it anyway, right? So I don't actually know how I would feel about like, well, I don't want this law because the bad government would abuse it, because a bad government's going to abuse you no matter what. So I don't know if it matters, you know? I don't know. Don't you think the West was too naive with opening its market to China? Genuine question. Why? Our standards of living have just exploded. Why would we regret that? The same exact thing could be said for Cuba, applies to China. We opened trade with the idea of liberalizing them, but they only became more authoritarian and saw it as a path to build up their economy and military and invade their neighbors like Tibet, Taiwan next, and the Philippines. Is China more authoritarian today than they were 30 years ago? Is that true? And also, does Cuba have the potential to be like China? Like, it's not like Cuba would be fully self-sufficient on its own and could do like huge things. What is the... Okay, I'm going to guess without looking and potentially be very, very wrong. If I had to guess what the population of Cuba is... Okay, so poorer place, so higher density, but really small place, so low population. My gut is telling me it has to be less than 10 million. I'm going to go with, between the entire island, I'm going to guess 2 million, but it's going to end up being like 40 million because there's so many poor people living it, but it's not. I'm going to say 2 to 5 million. 2 to 5 million, that's my guess. Let's check. Fuck! Okay, it was higher than I thought. Okay, we're not horrendously off, but 11.19 million. Damn.
Anyway, MAGA communism, baby. I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna go to Alveus soon. So I wanted to finish the bad empanada video, but I'll talk about we're surrounded by idiots and fake patriots. This all happens because they're straight up lie and never get punished. No, they're also utilizing the silliness. Like, they're utilizing what is vague, okay, about these boundaries, these guidelines. And they're also using Twitch's insistence, which I agree with, by the way. This is part of what I'm about to say. Twitch's insistence on having a rigorous and thorough application of its terms of service.
Yeah, opening markets to China was a very good economic decision. What I wonder is, should we have set some policies to protect our economies from potential friction with them? Nobody even knows what nobody even agrees what that even means, my dude. Like people like Trump thinks that like trade deficits are inherently bad and evil and terrible, and that's not even necessarily true. And it's like there's just like what it even means for to have a good economic, like we just there's just no more econ 101 understanding in the White House, or at least not on the Republican side. So I mean, like what policies, like when I think of things that maybe should be enforced more, there are definitely some things like reciprocating intellectual property rights. I think things like that should definitely be enforced more. But like people just think that like trade deficits are bad and destroying, like things like that. And how what are you even gonna make like this dumb?
Against Twitch. Like, there is no other world in which this would be, like, no one on fucking YouTube is being like, you got to ban this guy. They're fucking playing the song that is also on YouTube, right? It is so annoying because it is one of those instances.
Oh, my browser is frozen again.
I
wish I had a strong enough computer to engage with, like, browser windows.
I guess I don't understand it. You fell off, you clown. Thanks, Big Potato Head.
What am I lacking here? What do you guys think I should upgrade next on this PC? So 10 900K or whatever? Not enough?
Fall off.
How many cores does this horrible chip have? What is it? I don't know if it's
Stop fucking Intel.
10 real ones or
go back to your country
20 virtual. I don't even know. Oh wait, it paused. Oh nope, still not working. Cool, that's okay. I didn't want to interact with this window at all. Oh, unresponsive. I hope one day I can have a system that's strong enough to run Chrome. I hope so. I hope one day. What's my GPU? Oh, it's just it's a dog shit 3090. Probably not enough. What do you think? I need more VRAM? How much RAM did I have in my system too? Maybe I need like 128 gigs of RAM. Maybe we need a NAS. Maybe we need a network attached storage just for RAM to run Chrome. Maybe that would help. Yeah, I don't know.
I hear good things about those NAS. They're good.
Okay.
Do you think Hasan doesn't know like why people are bitching? It's because he gets to do whatever the fuck he wants, and every Jew gets banned. Like, he
knows that. Of course, he's just trying to. His audience only sees what he puts in front of them, and so the goal is to show them what he wants them to see, hear, and believe, and then that's the goal. Yeah.